Have you ever wondered how strong the power level of Worlds Beyond compared to classic Shadowverse is? Well, I did. Worlds Beyond's Orchis is obviously much stronger compared to the original Orchis from Classic, but I do think her final form in Orchis the Limitless is still much stronger compared to what we have in Legends Rise. So in order to find out exactly how big the power difference is, I decided to simulate some matches so we can see for ourselves how badly Worlds Beyond bodies classic decks. Since we have Outer Sphere as this month's throwback rotation, I figured it would be a great idea to start there, and have a direct showdown of the greatest puppet deck in history? Well, not really, versus the greatest puppet deck of today. For our first match, we'll be having two decks that I am very familiar with. For Classic, I will be using the very aggressive puppet list that I used to get Grandmaster this throwback rotation. For Worlds Beyond, I will be using the Midrange Puppet list that I used to get 5-0 on Stage 1 and 2 of the current Grand Prix. Without further ado, let's head straight into the match. And now, for the first game to determine how badly Worlds Beyond will body this classic deck, or will it get bodied, who knows. We have the Mulligan phase, and for our draws, we are gonna have Worlds Beyond drawing Sylvia, Olivia, and Puppet Theater, and Classic will be drawing Lococo, Substitution, and what's the final card gonna be? It's going to be Flower Doll. So, in order to establish the rules, we're actually using ChatGPT here as a randomizer to help us decide which cards each player actually draws. And for the rule set regarding, because as you know, there's a difference in Worlds Beyond and Classic, because in Worlds Beyond you get the extra play point, in Classic you get the extra Evo plus the draw. Whoever goes second gets to decide how the mulligan goes and then what the advantage for the second player is. So yeah, here Classic goes second, so they both draw 3 cards in the mulligan. And now, yeah, turn 1, no player gets a 1-drop. Worlds Beyond turn 2 begins. Worlds Beyond is going to drop a Ruby on turn 2. And as you know, with Ruby, you get to redraw a card. Worlds Beyond chooses to redraw the Sylvia. And we get a medical grade assassin in return. Now it's time for Classic's turn 2. What are you gonna drop? They top deck a Hamlin. They play it immediately. Hamlin going to clone a Flower Doll. So Hamlin actually clones a card that's in your hand that costs 3 or less. And they end their turn. Worlds Beyond now. Very fast game. Very fast turns. On the third turn, they top deck yet another medical grade assassin. Chooses to play Puppet Theater instead. So they get 1 puppet, but they're gonna float 1 play point. There's nothing that they can play for 1 play point, so they're only gonna use 2 play points in turn 3. They play the puppet immediately to kill the 2-1 Hamlin. So just dies. And Puppet Theater at the end of your turn will generate 1 more puppet before Worlds Beyond will end their turn. And there you go. Now it's oh yeah, and they also attack the face with the Ruby there to deal 2 damage. Now turn 3 for Classic, they draw a Hamlin again. Classic just drops an Automaton Knight, and that's going to be the entire turn. So yeah, nothing much happened there for Classic. Worlds Beyond turn 4, they draw a Puppet Shield. Puppet Theater now only down to 1 countdown. What are they gonna decide to play here? I mean, I'm the one playing, I don't know what I'm saying. So I drop a medical grade assassin, get an enhanced puppet. Only 1 play point remaining. Am I going to use the enhanced puppet to kill the Automaton Knight? Nope. So it looks like I choose to play a puppet here. Let's just refer to this guy as Worlds Beyond. Because I'm playing both decks here. Come on, okay, puppet gets Bane, clears the Automaton Knight. So Automaton Knight, last word's gonna activate. Gonna give a puppet to the Classic player, which is also me, but I'm just gonna call him Classic. And yeah, Worlds Beyond gets a puppet from the Puppet Theater. There's the puppet from Knight, and looks like Ruby dealt 2 damage to the face again. So now Classic is down to 16 HP. Turn 4 for Classic now. They can now evolve because they went second. So I think the play here is probably gonna be Hamlin, right? Hamlin going to clone the puppet. And yeah, there's gonna be a full clear if Classic chooses to evolve. 2 puppets gonna be sent out, probably going to deal with the medical grade assassin. And yeah, 2 more play points remaining. There are a lot of 2-drops that are there to choose from. Opts for the Flower Doll. Flower Doll probably going to Evo here. Yep, going to Evo to deal with the Ruby. So the Flower Doll becomes a 3-4. Trades with the Ruby. Ruby is dead. And now Flower Doll is going to be a 3-2. With the last words, put a puppet into your hand. The other last words effect probably is not gonna take effect here because there are so many cards in Classic's hand. Worlds Beyond now, turn 5. Puppet Theater expires. So yeah, drops a Ding Dong and a Puppet Shield. Okay. So no UD. Looks like Worlds Beyond is saving Evos here. So Puppet Shield, as you know, would summon 2 enhanced puppets, which will be able to deal with the 2 followers that are on board for Classic. So enhanced puppet trades into the Flower Doll. Flower Doll's gonna die. The puppet's also gonna die. And the other enhanced puppet is gonna trade into Havlin. It's only 2 attacks, so it's gonna live. It's gonna be a 3-1, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna die at the end of the next turn. And that's going to be the entire turn for Worlds Beyond. Now let's see what Classic does in turn 5. Classic draws yet another Flower Doll. Okay, so it doesn't look like Classic has anything in the hand. it's just early game cards. Unfortunately, not drawing any of the mid game cards in the deck. So Marionette Lad Enhanced 5 will actually evo for free. So spending every single play point there to evo this, it's now a 4/4. It will trade into the Bellringer Angel, which is going to draw a card. What card are we gonna draw here? Another Puppet Shield for Worlds Beyond. Okay. So this Marionette Lad is not long for this world. Looks like Worlds Beyond's gonna top deck Aaliyah. Would be handy on turn 10, but turn 10 still so far. Let's see if Worlds Beyond can even reach turn 10, because this Classic deck is actually a very fast-paced deck. But as you can see, Worlds Beyond is still sitting at 20 HP. So yeah, it doesn't seem like Classic was able to actually do his game plan here. Medical Grade Assassin going to be played here together with UD, so that's going to be all the 6 play points. I assume we're gonna see the puppet here, the 0-cost one, in order to trade with the 4/4. UD draws a Noah too. Okay, so we do see the puppet getting sent out. Puppet with Bane going to trade with the 4/4. Marionette Lad going to die. Going to give a puppet in the hand at least, so you know, more puppets for Classic. But just look at this hand for Classic, man. What are they supposed to do? So on turn 6, they top deck Automaton Knight again. 2 puppets plus Puppeteer Strings. Okay, so that's gonna be 4 play points already consumed. We get 2 more puppets in the hand because of the Puppeteer Strings. Puppeteer Strings will deal 1 damage to every single follower in the enemy side. So it's going to be down to a 2-1 and a 3-2. Puppets going to trade, kill the Medical Grade Assassin. And I assume 1 more puppet's gonna be played here in order to trade with the UD. Yep. So 1 more puppet, and UD is down. What's the next player? You still have 2 play points. Probably just a Flower Doll, right? Or a Hamlin. I assume it's gonna be a Flower Doll. It is gonna be a Flower Doll. So 6 play points consumed. That's gonna be the end of the turn. And yeah, it seems like this aggressive puppet deck still does 0 damage to the face. Cannot really progress to the win condition. Unfortunately, Silva Ardent Sniper hasn't been drawn for Classic, so it's very difficult to actually chip the opponent down, especially if they're playing puppets like this and they're just dealing with your board every single turn without even spending a single evo. So Noah's gonna be played here for Worlds Beyond. Gain 3 puppets with 2 attack. 1 puppet is going to be used to trade against the Flower Doll, and that's also going to buff the 2 enhanced puppets that are already in hand to 4 attack. Classic's turn now. Turn 7 drops the Hamlin. What did we top deck? I didn't see what card Classic top deck there. Does it even matter? I don't know. We play the Automaton Knight too. Hamlin is going to clone the puppet. Interesting. Plays the Flower Doll. So that's the entire 7 play points here. 0 play points remaining for Classic. Classic's gonna be forced to evo here if he wants to deal with the Noah. So opts to evo the Automaton Knight. Automaton Knight going to be a 5/4 after the evo. That's actually going to die to Noah, which is so sad. Noah, you gotta be taken care of here. Gonna be down to a 5/1. So 1 puppet's gonna be able to take care of this Noah here. Unfortunately, that's such a waste of evo. Evoing and not even killing the Noah is crazy. Like, the stats in Worlds Beyond, I think the cards in general just have better stat lines compared to this era of Shadowverse Classic. Like, you can just see from this turn that maybe it's just that we didn't draw any high cost followers for Classic, but man, it's still crazy. Okay, so wait, what happened there? Oh, I think Worlds Beyond spent 2 puppets to clear the board. Maybe we didn't see it. But yeah, Classic's board is now cleared. Spent 2 puppets, most likely to do that. And now Noah just refills the puppets. The enhanced puppets are now up to 5 attack. And then Worlds Beyond just ends the turn there. Classic finally top decks an Orchis on exactly turn 8. Wonderful. So with 4 puppets in hand, Classic chooses to go for the offensive version of Orchis. Orchis Vengeful Puppet. Uses 4 puppets here to transform them into Marionette Uno and 3 copies of Marionette Due. In case you didn't know, Marionette Uno, the 1/1, has Ambush, and Marionette Due, the 3 copies of 3/2s that you can see there, they all have Storm. So Orchis will be evoing here to take down the Noah. That's going to be the last evo point for Classic. And yeah, unlike in Worlds Beyond, those puppets actually stick on the board, so you actually need to deal with them in order to remove them. They don't just die for free. Orchis evos into an 8/7, takes care of the Noah, but takes 5 damage in retaliation. Orchis is now down to an 8/2, and with 3/2 attack puppets from Worlds Beyond's hand, I think it's pretty much over for Classic here. Now the storm damage is gonna come through. Worlds Beyond is going to be down to 11 HP, but I mean, it's pretty much too late at this point. Even if you draw another Orchis, you no longer have any more puppets to storm with. You no longer have any more Evo. So even if you have 4 puppets, you only deal 9. You cannot even kill. Worlds Beyond here, yep, as expected, just gonna use the 3 puppets to deal with the 3 copies of Marionette Due. They're all gonna die. And I assume Noah's just gonna come out here again. Why do we have 3 Noahs on Worlds Beyond? We didn't even draw Orchis, bro. We didn't even need Orchis. Like the Classic deck just got shut down purely by how bullshit Noah's Noah's free puppets are. Dude, Worlds Beyond didn't even spend a single Evo point yet this entire game. Like I know that usually you want to spend to save Evo points here in order to control stuff, especially if they don't really have an inevitable win con in the late game. But holy shit, spending 0 evos to deal with this puppet deck, I mean, I feel sad because you know, this was actually my favorite puppet deck. I love it more than the Worlds Beyond one. But yeah, at this point, Classic just forfeits. There's no way for them to win the match, and Worlds Beyond easily takes down Classic puppets in game 1. Well, it seems like Alter Sphere's puppet deck got absolutely bodied by Worlds Beyond. Now, to be fair, Classic didn't draw Silva in that simulation, a core part of the deck's win condition if chipping down the opponent into Orchis range is what you want. But I do think Worlds Beyond can very easily sustain with healing from Sylvia if needed, and with an actual late game, something that doesn't exist in this particular Classic deck list, I don't really see a way for it to win. Though the aggressive list didn't work, don't count Alter Sphere's puppet decks out of this yet. There's one more, most likely stronger version of puppets in Alter Sphere that completely forgoes Orchis and Tempo in order to go for a different win condition. That's right, it's Destruction Portal Craft featuring the Omen of Destruction herself, Lishenna. As of Legends Rise, there's no way to deal with Lishenna's amulets once it gets going. Can Lishenna Portal set it up in time? Or will it fall victim to the also deadly turn 8 Orchis that we all love or hate? Let's see it in action. So now we're on to the mulligan phase. It's Lishenna Portal versus the same exact deck that Worlds Beyond was playing earlier, Midrange Puppet Portal Craft. So Puppet Portal Craft, going to draw Noah and Yudi on the starting hand. One more card is going to be drawn here because Worlds Beyond is going second, which means we're going to follow Classic Shadowverse mulligan rules again, which means both players draw 3 cards at the start of the match. On turn 1, the player that goes first will draw 1 card, the player that goes second will draw 2 cards, and the player going second will get an extra evolution point. That's how going second is balanced in Classic Shadowverse. In Worlds Beyond, we do have the extra play point. But yeah, since Classic is going second, we're going to follow Classic's rules here. So each player are gonna redraw their hands now. It seems like Puppet Portal Craft got Ruby and Apollo. And for Worlds Beyond, they're only gonna trade Substitution for Joy of Destruction because they luckily had Lishenna on the starting hand, which is definitely one you want to see because the problem with this deck is if you don't draw Lishenna, there's a very big chance that you just straight up lose the match. So yeah, 2 Lishenna though. I don't know about 2 Lishenna though. Right, so turn 2 now. Turn 1, they just both passed. Turn 2, Worlds Beyond drops a Ruby. And if I remember correctly, the first match Worlds Beyond also dropped Ruby on turn 2, so it's the same thing. Ruby probably gonna replace Apollo with something here because Apollo is not really something that's gonna be useful on this particular matchup. Lishenna Portal Craft does not really flood the board with a lot of followers. Usually, it's just puppets. So they don't really have any board at all. Like, Apollo is gonna be useless the entire match. On turn 2, they just drop the Flower Doll that they top decked. And on turn 3, Worlds Beyond going to drop a UD on curve. And now Ruby is gonna be able to attack, deal 2 damage. I think Ruby here should go face, because there's no reason to ever trade against Lishenna Portal. You're racing against time here. If you let Lishenna Portal get going, there's no way to counter it. So yep, Ruby's going to deal 2 to the face. Let's see if Worlds Beyond's Portal Craft decklist can actually aggro Lishenna fast enough before Lishenna gets going with the puppets. Now, UD is something very threatening, and we don't really have I guess Puppet Room is also a play, but Portal Craft here opts to go for Flower Doll plus Joy of Destruction, destroying the UD. I think the reason Classic went for this play here is because Puppet Room is going to be very important in reducing the cost of Lishenna's amulets later when it comes into play. So wasting puppets early just to clear that UD feels like a waste of cost reduction that you could have gotten if you played those puppets way later into the game. The problem is Worlds Beyond is going to build a like kind of a scary board here, to be honest. It's going to be a Ruby plus another 2 drop, and then now they drop a Ding Dong. Ruby goes face again, 16 HP remaining for Classic. And the problem now for Classic is they're most definitely gonna want to play Lishenna this turn, but there's a Ding Dong blocking 2 of the followers that actually deals damage. So Lishenna here going to evolve, going to get her amulet, but clearing the Ding Dong, you don't kill any of the followers that are hiding in the back. And with only 1 puppet here in hand, there's no way to heal them really. So yeah, we're just gonna force to eat 4 or 6 damage to the face if they choose to evolve any of those. Something very scary. If you're a Lishenna player, going down to 10 HP this early into the match is definitely not something you'll want to see. So turn 5 now for Classic. What's the play going to be? It's going to be Puppet Lancer dropped here first. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be a Ding Dong. Gonna be dropped here. Evoing the Lovestruck Puppeteer to the face too. So yep, as expected, it's going to be 6 damage to the face this turn. So Lishenna is in a whole lot of trouble here. 10 damage is already very close to Orchis range. Like if Worlds Beyond at any point gets a Noah and buffs the attack of the puppet to 2, that's already 10 damage to the face, and that's bye-bye for the Lishenna player. So yeah, definitely not something you'd want to see if you're playing Lishenna. But I think from this turn on is where Lishenna is gonna start stabilizing, because you've already dropped your Lishenna, you already have your destruction in white. So that's the thing that you want to reduce the cost. In case you guys didn't know, every time a follower gets destroyed, the cost of destruction in white gets reduced. So that's the reason why Lishenna player didn't opt to play Puppet Room on turn 3 to destroy the UD, because that will mean you're gonna have to sacrifice the Flower Doll into it. You're gonna have to sacrifice the flower that Flower Doll generates into it, and you're also gonna have to sacrifice the puppet that the Puppet Room's gonna give. So that's already 3 cost reduction gone if you choose to go for that play. Anyway, now Puppet Room goes into play. Puppet Room is basically just Puppet Theater, but with 1 more countdown and 1 more cost. So yeah, more puppets but more expensive, more commitment. Okay, so Lishenna is going to trade into that 4-4. Lishenna is now down to a 3-2. Lishenna has Bane, so even if it only has 3 attacks, it's going to immediately take care of that 4-4. As you can see, destruction in white cost here is going to be reduced because of that. And now Puppet gets generated at the end of the turn. And yeah, Ruby. Wait, Ruby is left alive? Really? Did the Lishenna player really not have anything that can deal with that? I'm very surprised. Now Ruby evos again, and now Lishenna is down to 6, which is definitely Orchis range as fuck. So 2 puppets here going to be used for by the Worlds Beyond player to take down the 3-2 Lishenna. So Lishenna is gonna fall here. 3-4 Flower Doll still standing though. There's still a lot of play points. Actually, full play points here still from Worlds Beyond. So they play another UD, replacing, I think that was a Sylvia, replacing it with a Divine Thunder, and Love Struck Puppeteer here gonna be played for an extra puppet, and another Ruby is gonna be played, and Divine Thunder is gonna be replaced with Mecha Cavalier. Now it's Lishenna's turn again. Puppet Room down to 2 countdown. Puppets going to be used to clear. 2 puppets are immediately used. Clears the Ruby. Okay, and now Destruction in White is down to 6 cost. Flower Doll can attack. Chooses to bring out the Junk first. Junk has a Fanfare and Last Words. Put a puppet into your hand. It's very weak though. It's a 1-2 for 3 cost. So yeah, there's definitely a cost for using puppets. Wow, using the final Evo point here to Evo the Junk. Junk is now going to be a 3-4. And Junk as the 3-4 trades into the 4-4 Ruby. So it doesn't kill the Ruby. Junk dies. But as I said, its Last Words will also give you a puppet in your hand. So the Junk will die, but in return, it will reduce the cost of Destruction in White by 1. It's only 5 costs now. 1 puppet in hand is going to be generated. Puppet's going to trade into Ruby. And yeah, Destruction in White going to be reduced to 4 costs now. 2 followers still remain. Flower Doll going to trade against the Love Struck Puppeteer. Love Struck Puppeteer is going to die. Flower Doll is going to be down to a 3... Wait, why is it a 3-1? Is it supposed to be a 3-2? It doesn't really matter. I was bad at math. But this Disciple of Destruction sacrifices Flower Doll to draw cards. Destruction in White is now 3 play points. 2 puppets are gonna be used to kill the Ruby. So that's a complete fourthly here for the Lishenna player. Definitely something that you needed that turn because you can't afford to have anything still surviving if you're down to 6 HP. Now, Disciple of Destruction sacrifices one of your followers. It destroys a Portal Craft card for draw 2. So they actually draw a Puppet Room here and a Destructive Refrain. Destruction in White comes into play, which now puts a Destruction in Black in hand. I'm gonna display what it does on the screen. As you can see, very scary card if it actually comes into play, but you're gonna have to reduce the cost first, and you're gonna have to find a turn to drop it safely. Now, Worlds Beyond going to drop an Olivia on turn 7, probably looking for the Orchis because Orchis is just straight up lethal here. Unfortunately, Sylvia draws 2 Puppet Theaters, which is pretty much useless against Lishenna because at this point, Lishenna is almost never gonna drop anything on board. They're just gonna drop things that generate puppets, like very weak followers at that, and they're just gonna keep on destroying your board with puppets. So yeah, Puppet Theater is definitely not something you'd want to see drawn at this part of the game. Now, Super Evo Olivia does deal with that. Now, leader's down to 5. And now it's Lishenna's turn. Puppet Room, it's the final turn of Puppet Room. You're still gonna get a puppet this turn, but it's gonna be the last one. Destruction in White heals 2 HP at the start of the turn. So now the leader is up to 7 HP. Going to top deck a Junk. I mean, yeah, Junk is very essential here, I think, in for drawing cards. Okay, so Disciple of Destruction can actually destroy the Destruction in White, but it cannot be destroyed, so you just draw cards for free, basically. Yeah, so draw 2 cards. Destructive Refrain is used here. It's a 4-cost spell that destroys something and deals damage to everything equal to the cost of the card destroyed. Now, Destruction in White is originally a 10-cost card, so it's gonna deal 10 damage to everything, and since it cannot be destroyed, it's still going to remain on the board. Now, Puppet here going to be generated by the Puppet Room. Last Puppet's ever gonna generate. It seems like we still didn't draw an Orchis yet, so we're gonna play a Sylvia here. Wow, another Sylvia. Wow! Where's the Orchis, bro? Right, so Puppet Theater here gonna be used. 2 puppets gonna be consumed to destroy this Disciple of Destruction. And that's gonna be the entire turn for Worlds Beyond. Unfortunately, not finding the Orchis, which is definitely crucial if you want to win this game. The opponent's gonna keep on healing now, so eventually they're gonna go out of Orchis range. If you don't top deck the Orchis now as Worlds Beyond, things are not looking really good here. Now, Puppet Room going to disappear since it's its last turn. 9 play points remain for Worlds Beyond. Junk gonna be used. 8 play points, so there's only 5 remaining. Your Junk's gonna put another puppet in hand. Now you have 3 puppets. All 3 puppets are going to be used to attack the Sylvia here, I suppose. Oh no, only 2 actually. So 2 puppets will drop Sylvia to 5-3, and I assume we're gonna see substitution. Yep, substitution can banish anything that that has 3 HP or less. So Sylvia gets banished here, and you also get an extra puppet if you use a substitution. So yeah, 1 more puppet for the Lishenna player here. And Destruction in Black is going down in cost very significantly. That's gonna be the end of the turn for Worlds Beyond. Now Worlds Beyond draws another Sylvia. Drops a puppet because the hand is full. There's 9 cards in the hand now. Worlds Beyond's gonna drop a Sylvia to draw 2 cards. Orchis, please. What is that? Who is that? Oh my god. UD draws a medical grade assassin. And here's the sad part, right? We actually have 9 cards in hand right now. Oh yeah, that puppet trades into the junk. Heals again for 2 HP, so... Oh no. Things are not looking good for Worlds Beyond right now. Thankfully though, if they top deck an Orchis next turn, they still have lethal with that enhanced puppet. It can deal up to 11 damage. But the hand is full, so even if you top deck Orchis here, just burn the Orchis. Like, Worlds Beyond just kept on drawing cards. Unfortunately, trying to find Orchis, Worlds Beyond just drew too much. And now, Classic Shadowverse is just gonna spend those puppets to clear the board. 3 puppets spent now. Junk gonna be spent too. Oh yeah, forgot to track the play points here. So, yeah, Junk is the first follower that that Classic actually spent play points on. Sylvia is just gonna die. How she die? What? Did Classic have that many puppets? How did Sylvia die there? I wasn't watching. But hopefully I did not miscalculate that, and hopefully that's actually what happened. Okay, so Disciple of Destruction targets the junk here. Disciple of Destruction returns into your hand as a card that is 3 cost less. So junk here is actually 0 play points, so he just plays it again, and we get a bonus puppet from that. And now Destruction in Black is only 1 cost. We can now play Destruction in Black. And it's all set. Now all Puppet has to do is watch. Medical Grade Assassin gets drawn, but it's gonna get burnt because the hand is full. Enhanced Puppet here going to trade into a Apostle of Destruction, destroying it. We're probably gonna play... Man, Sylvia again to draw is crazy. So we get Medical Grade Assassin. Still no Orchis, by the way. Where's the Orchis, bro? I think against the Orchis Classic Portal, Worlds Beyond also didn't draw an Orchis. So yeah, ChatGPT is trolling me with this randomizer. I don't think I forgot to put Orchis in this deck, bro. I think I think Orchis is in this deck, but I cannot find Orchis. Okay, so Enhanced Puppet's gonna trade into the junk. I mean, I removed the Enhanced Puppet. It should have been still on the board, but you know, it's gonna die to Destruction in Black anyway. So you know, it saves me the effort of adding the remaining HP there. Now, Destruction in White heals for 2 again. Top decking Apostle of Destruction. Destruction in Black will deal 10 to everything, including the leader. So now, Worlds Beyond is down to 10 HP. How the turns have tabled for the Lishenna player. And now, Apostle of Destruction going to be used to clone Destruction in White. A Destruction in White is going to be created in hand that will cost 3 less compared to the original. So it's only going to be 7 cost. Puppet Room is going to be played. 4 puppets now in hand for Classic. Puppets gonna be played for no reason because they have too many puppets in hand. And at this point, they end the turn, they get 1 more puppet from the Puppet Room. And Worlds Beyond, what's the top they're gonna be? It's going to be Orchis, but unfortunately, Orchis at this point is no longer lethal. It's 13 HP, you cannot clear it. There's no puppets left either. And Worlds Beyond just concedes because if you end the turn, Lishenna, Destruction will just wipe your entire board, and that's gonna be that. So, yeah. Lishenna actually snagged a win against Worlds Beyond, but I don't think that was fair, bro. If any part, like at any point of the game, from turn 8 and beyond, if at any point they just draw an Orchis, except for maybe that last turn, they just straight up win the match. But, you know, Orchis didn't want to show up. That's what happens to you if you're playing Grand Prix and you only need 1 win to advance to Group A. Hopefully it didn't happen. I mean, thankfully it didn't happen to me because, you know, 5-0 easy. But yeah, that's gonna be that for the Worlds Beyond Midrange Puppet Portal Card versus Lishenna matchup. Definitely an interesting match to watch. I'm actually quite surprised that Lishenna managed to win there, but you know, like Lishenna just won because the Worlds Beyond deck kind of bricked. I don't know if you can call not getting an Orchis breaking, but yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want more of this type of content, if this video gets 300 likes, I will release another episode of this where Worlds Beyond decks fight classic decks. And this time, I'll let you guys suggest the decks in the comments. The comment with the most likes, you can comment. Let's, for example, Midrange Sword Colosseum versus Midrange Sword Worlds Beyond. You can comment that, and then people can like it. And the comment with the most likes, I'm actually gonna try and do that. Unfortunately, I don't really play Shadowverse from start to finish, so some of the expansion I'm not familiar with. I don't know if I can file out those decks, but yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a fun time. If we reach 300 likes though, because this video takes a shit, takes a hell of a takes so much time to edit, man, and to actually do the simulation, it's quite difficult and it's quite mentally taxing. And don't get me started on fucking Artifact Portal Craft, guys. I actually wanted to see Artifact Portal Craft in Worlds Beyond versus the classic Artifact Portal Craft in Alter Sphere with Deus Ex Machina. But oh my god, man, that's gonna be so much pain in the ass to actually simulate. Holy shit. I don't know if I can actually do it. But if this video reaches what's kind of an impossible like count? 600 likes. If this video gets 600 likes, I will actually torture myself and do the Artifact Mirror matchup. But yeah, until then, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.